Hello, everybody. We will start shortly. Let's wait some few minutes. One past, we can run the webinar. Okay. Hello, everybody, and I welcome all to this webinar of Horizon Europe 25 and beyond Nordic Plus opportunities. What we're going to go through today is that we have ITS people from ITS Finland, ITS Norway, ITS Estonia, ITS Latvia, and also ITS Factory from Tampere and Business Tampere presents. So today I'm the moderator, Alex Eulenberger, and for the short, I want to tell you everybody that we're gonna have questions on chat, and also we're gonna have a brief question and answers section after the webinar. So be patient on that one, and please make your questions through the chat. So our presenters will answer you on there. So further ado, I will give the stage to Jenny Simonsen from ITS Norway and ITS Nordic Plus to have a few words before that. Why Nordic collaboration matters in EU projects. Please, Jenny.
Thank you so much, Alex, and welcome to everyone to this webinar. And we're very pleased to actually have our first webinar about EU and EU projects. And I want to shortly dive into why Nordic Plus collaboration matters in EU projects. And I'm quickly just going to jump through some slides about what Nordic Plus is. It's a collaboration where we want to work together for a sustainable, smart, and secure future. We consist of all the ITS organizations in the whole Nordic region, even ITS Iceland. And the plus means that we do not exclude, we include. So ITS Latvia and ITS Estonia, that both are present here today, are part of Nordic Plus. And together we have over 400 plus companies and organizations, meaning the triple helix authorities, private companies, and academia. We do projects, we do webinars like this, we do activities, we do everything that enhances scalability, mobility across the regions. So we facilitate collaboration. I will come back to that. We drive into innovation, and we drive innovation. We're not driving into innovation, but we drive innovation through projects and activities, and we promote together your and the Nordic region plus regions sustainable solutions. And why would Nordic Plus matter in EU calls? I know that both Latvia and Estonia are participating heavily in EU calls. ITS Norway is also participating quite heavily in EU calls. We are also coordinating have been coordinating several EU projects and still coordinating EU projects. So we see that we need to join forces in the Nordic Plus region because we have the expertise. We share the similar challenges from a geographical point of view, from a climate point of view, and we share the same mobility needs. Also now, after geopolitical situation and all countries joining NATO, we see that there's increased need to share those activities together. Together we are stronger, meaning we make a large region in the EU that is as of interest. We are a trusted ecosystem. Everyone knows that in the Nordic region, the trust together with private and public entities, it works fine. There's a clear and good communication. And we also have very attractive test beds from northern part of the Nordic region to southern part in Latvia and in the region as well. We have attractive test beds. And we have the cross-border problematic challenges, but also the huge opportunities that comes with that. Shortly, stronger and better together, meaning we are good in collaborating, as I said, and combining the expertise that we have a lot more to offer. And shortly, that's all good and great. We have all this, but how do we do it in practice? Well, this is the first, as I said, first EU webinar in the Nordic Plus region. Nordic ITS Norway has hosted several EU webinars. We also have a short a platform for that. And Runar Søråsen from ITS Norway will talk about that later in the webinar. So we know how to do that, and we want to scale it up into Nordic Plus level. So through webinars like this, through other activities, which I will come back to a little bit in my slides, we do the matchmaking, we do the talking about calls, we could have webinars where we will have one-pagers from companies that are organizations that are interested in EU calls. And let me just remind you as well that in Norway, at least, many public entities are very much interested in EU calls because they get outreach, they get the technological innovation. They may not have the resources to innovate, but through EU calls and the network, they get a lot of more innovation. So from our perspective, these calls or these activities are not just made for private organizations. So it's a very busy slide, this one, but this is just what we're going to planning in 25-26 with the activities where you get to meet your Nordic peers, Nordic Plus peers, where we can work with matchmaking and where we can talk about the EU calls that are out there. So next one, Inform Norden in Oslo in October. We will be present in Amsterdam with a Nordic Plus pavilion. And now I'm switching over to kind of a commercial voice because we have this Nordic Plus pavilion. I encourage you to look at it because it's very exciting to be part of it. And the ones that have joined us know that we do networking very well. And what we want to do is give you a ready-made table where you come and deliver your story, your product, your services, and we will help you get together. There are several stories that people will tell where they met their kind of a partner or activity or a possibility to pitch there in the Nordic region. So it works. We can put the stamp on it that the Nordic Pavilion is a great matchmaking place. We will and are planning to have a Nordic roadshow starting either in Oslo or Helsinki. We kind of are still debating which place to start in September in 26 that focuses on the Nordic Plus regions activities from a digitalization, electrification, automation, and AI point of view. What do we bring to the table when it comes to all these areas to enhance mobility and transport across the sector? So both sea, land, rail, and air. This is something that we're working on with the program. So it will be more a workshop style, not just very long presentations, but a workshop and a matchmaking event where we will bring together partners that really want to change the future of mobility and transport. And lastly, I'm going to show you from one of my counties in our Norwegian county up north called Tromsø County. They are, for instance, having this issue or need where they are locating themselves into this one call that you can see, the Horizon call and then the description, where they are looking to be actively involved as a partner. So they're looking for a consortium. So this is one way of presenting it and saying, look, we are interested in this call. We would like to join a consortium. Do you know of any? So for instance, here we could say, is anyone having a call? Would be interested in talking to a company or organization like the county of Tromsø? So this is one way of doing it. And then there are the matchmaking opportunities direct, and we will hear a little bit more from Runar as well in the end. But this was a very short, intense kind of a pitch from our side, why we want to do this and why together we are stronger and we can actually help you to make good calls and join good consortiums. Because we have the network, this is very important for you as well. We have the network outside in Europe and we can all help you there with the partners. So Alex, I think this concludes from my side.
Thank you, Jenny. It was a really nice and just on time. Thank you very much, Jenny. And next, we will have Jari Ahola from Business Tampere opening up this national snapshot. And behalf of Finland, we would like to hear more about status and ambitions. Welcome, Jari. The stage is yours. You have 15 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Alex and Jenny, for the nice introduction to today's topic. My name is Jari Ahola, and I'm with Business Tampere, where my responsibility is to advise the local companies and other stakeholders in the EU funding related matters. And for this presentation, I can show you some background on what we have been doing related to these Horizon Europe Cluster 5 mobility calls within the local ITS factory network. So we have been mapping out the interest of the local companies to participate on these calls that will still be open in this 2025 work program with the deadline in January next year. See if I can change my slides. There we go. Well, Tampere has had a very active and wide portfolio in the smart city related activities already for the past 30 years. And smart mobility is an essential part of that and the activities and the project portfolios in this region. We have a very wide industrial basis in the area, a lot of technical training coming from the universities, and of course a number of companies relevant for the different stages and life cycle of creating services and products for this topic area. Tampere can provide some very interesting solutions and facilities for ITS related and smart mobility related projects, as there are some really unique underlying platforms that can be used on the projects, which are rather rare that any project can develop during its lifespan, rather than it requires these from the beginning of the project. For instance, the recently built tramline system has a special test tram, which can be used on testing tram-related services and products. And also the infrastructure for autonomous driving is available in the city area, where our partners at the Technical Research Center of VTT can provide services and research on that topic. Of course, the ITS Factory, which pretty much gathers all the local actors together to discuss the activities and, of course, the plans for future calls that we have been identifying during this year. And just to summarize the current opportunities in the current work program, some of the calls already closed in this month, but there are still 11 left with the deadline on January 26. 4 of these are the CCAM partnership calls, and then there are 7 other calls related to, for instance, on the construction of the transport infrastructure, logistics innovation, safety, AI-related prediction of the and avoiding of road crashes, and so on. And a couple of weeks ago, these calls have been opened, and they are now open until the 20th of January next year. The typical project budget size is from 3.5 million to 11 million euros per project. And just a quick list of these calls. You will get the slides later on, and you can have a closer look at the topic level that what will be available on 2025 work program calls. So these are the other than CCAM calls. Like this. And as in Jenny's presentation, Tromsø was already interested on this D614 topic, which is of interest of our local players as well, as we will see in a moment. And there are different approaches on these open call topics. The RIA calls, which are closer to the research angles and lower levels of TRL in terms of starting point and the expected outcomes of the projects, and then compared to the innovation actions, which are a bit closer to the market and are expecting a slightly higher end TRL level to be achieved at the end of the project. So there is room for research activities and innovation activities in all these 11 remaining calls, as you can see here. I do not know if there's any interest for the D609 coordination and support action, but we are of course happy to hear if there is any interest on that, because we do have some specialized companies related to the, for instance, to the measurement devices on the emission side. And, this is pretty much a summary of the tentative mapping of the companies. We have something like a dozen companies from the ITS Factory network that has already until or so far has expressed their interest to participate on EU projects. We are still waiting for the final responses from some players, but as you can see, there's a rather wide interest on most of the topics which are still open, and maybe the names of the companies or players don't tell that much to you, but we can provide you partners in the proposals and projects from the companies, and of course the players on the public side, City of Tampere, and then also the research and the university side of the players in the area. So a rather nice setting of interested parties are available through us, And I hope that we will continue after this webinar rather quickly, because it takes time to prepare high quality proposals. And you can contact me or any other ITS factory member to get a hold of the contacts for these companies, and then let's start the discussions on how to prepare a winning proposal for the next round of the funding calls on the mobility topics. And this is really a short introduction of the local interests and the offering that the Tampere region can provide to you. And I'm happy to answer any questions. Jenny has a hand up already.
Yes, maybe not everyone are known to the TRL levels. You didn't have a slide, but maybe you can explain a little bit about the research innovation, RIA and IA, a little bit about the differences and the TRL level. What does that mean and what levels exist?
Well, it's pretty much a mapping of from numbers 1 to 9. So number 1 means that there is a basic idea that there might be a solution to a certain problem, or an algorithm how to solve a certain problem, but that's only an idea which requires still confirmation, simulations, and testing in laboratory. And the upper end of the scale is number 9, which means that this is a pre-commercial maturity of a solution or a product which is pretty much ready for the market. And this TRL technology readiness level approach is cross-cutting in these EU calls, because that is the way how they define that where they want to have the emphasis on the projects, whether it's closer to the research side, let's say levels 1 to 5. Level 6 is typical MVP or minimum viable product concept, which has been piloted in laboratory and which can then be taken to the higher levels 7, 8, meaning that there is a system or ecosystem environment where this solution will be tested before it's ready for the market. So in innovation actions are starting typically from level 5 up to 8, and then the research and innovation is starting from level 3 to 7. This is typically the ballpark between the maturity levels in terms of TRL. I hope this clarifies this, but Googling TRL, you will get a very nice presentation or picture which explains this.
Thank you. I think Marco has already added one picture on in the chat. So thank you for that, Marco. That's very
Excellent.
good to have that, because it also clarifies when you as a company want to enter a call, you need to kind of also check your validity on the TRL scale in order to take part in a call. So that's a good self-validation from your part as an organization before entering a whole process. And because it is, like Jari said, and thank you, by the way, for a very good presentation, Jari. It is, as you said, Jari, it's a long process. It's a very, it goes into quality. It's not just about your organization's ability, but it's also about the finances in your company, etc., etc. So there are a lot of things to think of, and the TRL checklist is one good checklist first to start with. Sorry, Alex.
Yes, I think that we are through with Jari, and big thanks to Jari Ahola for presenting. Now we can step to the next one, and we have here Lili Kuusk from ITS Estonia. Please, can we hear your presentation?
Yes, of course. Hi, everybody. Gonna shortly share my screen. Hope it's visible.
Yes, we can see it.
It
Just
doesn't
put
want
it.
to go to the presentation mode.
We can wait a little. No worries.
Okay. So, yeah, hi, my name is Lili. I'm the CEO of ITS Estonia. And with the first slide, I want to give you a little bit of background. So, those who are from Norway or from Finland, you're used to that it's a separate entity. But in Estonia, we are part of ITL, which is a ICT union for Estonia. And we are one sub-cluster here. So if we are going into the projects, so then we are going there with ITL in a bigger scale. So a little bit of facts about what Estonia has done in previous years or session. So we are actually granting quite a lot. We are applying quite a lot and also receiving quite big amounts of funding. But still, when applying, then our success rate is a bit below the EU average. So I think we need like stronger consortiums. So this is something that we are really like looking forward to have good partners in Nordics. And also, I think one of the benefits having Estonia in their consortium is that Estonia is going under the widening measures. So our companies are quite active. This is something that is like above EU average. Our companies usually come through like our memberships. So we are not taking usually companies outside of our memberships into consortiums. And one really nice example from previous funding area was our Fibenol got the 16 million funding, which is quite nice to have private company in that good financing. So here we have these areas what we are interested in. So in the end of the slide, you can see this the same one that Jari presented: clean, safe, accessible transport. Energy systems, also actually electrification, which is a quite new topic for us, but still we are looking into that too. And why Estonia would be a good partner? We are still the digital forerunner with a really strong e-governance. And also one of my favorite topics is quite nicely developed in Estonia, the autonomous mobility pilots and AVs on public roads. So this has been a quick development, and we would like to proceed with this because right now the companies that we have are doing really well everywhere else besides Europe because the legislation is the way it is. So would like to focus on the EU level legislation. So our AVs could be also on the open roads here. And some of the examples of companies and the projects that they have been in, I think it's always good to have or see the concrete names in what field, who is the one who to approach through us. So I'm going to send the slides afterwards also. If you have some names here who are who looks interesting, then you can let me know. So what we have done, we have tested the digital border queue systems in real time, like Tallinn and Helsinki. So we have already done with our fellow Nordic Plus members, and looking forward to do more or the next step, because right now, like, I feel that we have done the couple of first steps, but we should go deeper into those topics also. And a little example what ITS has done, like we just ended this spring our Horizon project in Pivo. So we had there 3 partners. And it was between Portugal and Georgia. And from Estonian side, we had two partners. One is sorry, it doesn't matter. Besides that, there was one more. And what was the main goal? It was to, first of all, to get to know each other, our systems, our opportunities, our abilities, what our different ITS organizations are doing, and then find there how we can move forward. So we had to build another consortium to get some more funding. And I'm gonna say, really honestly, it was really, really tricky because in the Nordics, we are in the I would like to say in the same emotional level and our countries are a bit similar, but if you go to the south, then the politics and some of those factors are really influencing your projects and outcomes also. So I think we had a huge learning point there. That doesn't mean that we wouldn't proceed with those countries, but now we are aware of some of the obstacles that you have to assess before applying into the projects. And one of the really important thing is, as you see here, stronger involvement of women innovators. So from this activity, we actually built our own ITL Women's Club or Women's Leaders Club, which is really active and still ongoing, even though this project ended. So the project can give you always some extra value, and this definitely was one of them. So yeah, here are the partners. And if you have any questions, then you can ask. And this is our member list. If someone seems interesting, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. And I would ask that you are the contact point, of course, at Estonia. So thank you for your presentation. And I think that we have a quite good time still left. Is there any questions? Please feel free to ask. But if there is none, we have some time to take the next one from Latvia, Lasma Brencha from Horizon Europe. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I will try to share my presentation.
Yes, it's good. You can see it.
Yeah, so hello once more. My name is Lasma Brencha, and I'm honored to be here today to share insights on Latvia's engagement in program Horizon Europe, especially because I am NCP for program Horizon Europe for Cluster 5 and also for Cluster 6, together with my colleague Aiga Salmiņa. So maybe I will show you a little bit different perspective from previous speakers. On this slide, you can see our colleagues from the National Contact Point from Latvia. As you know already, the program Horizon Europe is big, and there is many clusters and many thematic areas. So each of us is representing their own cluster or thematic area. I wanted to show at the start top 10 organizations in Latvia that have received the most funding from Horizon Europe. As you see at the very top is the University of Latvia with more than 12.6 million euros in EU funding. Next is the Children's Clinical University Hospital with over 10.3 million euros. This is a great example of how medical and clinical institutions are successfully involved in international research. And in third place is Riga Technical University with just over 10.2 million euros. And in this slide, you can see Latvia receiving EU funding in different parts of the program. And it's similar as Estonian colleague that we also have biggest amount of funding in the widening part of the Horizon Europe with almost 29 million euros. So this shows that Latvia is successfully using the support to strengthen research capacity and international cooperation. The second highest is cluster 6, which is about food, bioeconomy, natural resources, agriculture, and environment. And then comes cluster 4, digital industry and space. And of course, we also have good results in cluster 5, as we are talking today about climate, energy, and mobility. I really like to show you this slide because it clearly shows that the higher the number of applications submitted, the greater the number of grants received. For example, in cluster 5, there were 294 applications, out of which 46 resulted in grants. So our role as a national contact point is to motivate and support our potential applicants through the events like this. We can gather the information and give this to our applicants and help them from identify the right call to submit their proposals. So on a daily basis, we provide consultations to clients at different stage of project development. However, in order to increase the amount of funding received, our main task is to motivate more participants from Latvia to take the role of coordinators, which we have not so many. For this purpose, we also have a dedicated support instruments available for coordinators. Also, I would like to share with you the future vision for Latvia's participation in Horizon Europe and the upcoming framework program 10. Our first priority is more active participation. This means submitting a higher number of project proposals in order to strengthen Latvians' performance. Secondly, we aim for stronger involvement of Latvia's research and innovation community. Another important direction is the engagement of potential coordinators, as I mentioned already. And finally, we see the need for a future training model for coordinator preparation, similar to the model already, I think, implemented in Estonia. So we could integrate coordinator skills into higher education programs at different levels. Now, let's look at the top 10 organizations in cluster 5, especially. So as you see, the first place is Riga Energy Agency, followed by Riga Technical University and company We Are Dots. So as you see, also in cluster 5, top 10 participants, there are universities, companies, NGOs. So yeah, we are working in a broad perspective. And as you already know, Cluster 5 focuses on key areas, tackling climate change, ensuring clean and affordable energy, also developing smart energy systems and storage, making buildings and industry more energy efficient. And it fits very good, those priorities fits very well in with Latvia's own vision for sustainable development. For us, protecting nature and the environment, the so-called Green Deal is very essential. It is about using our diverse natural capital wisely, so reducing pollution and ensuring the well-being of future generations. I will send you also these presentations afterwards, so you can see broadly, but here are top 5 Latvian projects in cluster 5. As you see, the role for all 5 projects are participant, and so the section is energy and climate. And now I will show you about information about 3 projects that are, I think, interesting also for you. So this one is the project Just Streets, promoting safe, pleasant mobility in the urban mobility in urban environment, in which Riga City Council is taking an active role. The objective of this project is to increase mobility safety and improve public space accessibility, particularly for vulnerable groups. This includes elderly people, children, women, people with mobility impairments, and so on. And they will achieve this by planning public space improvements and testing interventions in a selected pilot areas here in Riga. This is another project enhancing infrastructure for connected and automated mobility, where Latvia plays an important role through the Institute of Electronics and Computer Science. This is a European Union project running from 2022 till 2025 with a total budget of 11 million euros, and it brings together 26 partners from over 12 countries with test sites located in France, Spain, and here in Latvia also. And the goal of this project is to improve road infrastructure where physical, digital, or communication related to make connected and automated vehicles safer and more reliable. And the third project is this, smart digital solutions for multimodal, accessible, resilient, user-centric urban infrastructure. This project's goal is use digital and artificial intelligence solution to make transport systems smarter, safer, and more user-friendly. And the main objectives are build a European digital platform that connects transport infrastructure and mobility services, and also use artificial intelligence to monitor infrastructure, predict problems, and improve traffic flow. In the past, draft programs were often shared only in a limited way, and many organizations did not have early access. But now the European Commission has changed this approach, and today the draft for programs are publicly available to everyone. This means that researchers, companies, and other stakeholders no longer have to wait for the final version to start planning. I think this is a big step forward because now we can all see the upcoming topic earlier, and we can start building partnerships sooner and prepare strong project proposals in advance. And in summary, through our increased participation in Horizon Europe, our involvement in projects such as the Just Streets and an augmented CAM, and our commitment to preparing future coordinators. So Latvia is strengthening their presence in the Europe research and innovation landscape, and I really enjoyed to tell this about this to you. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, you can write them to me, or maybe there are some in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lasma. It was good presentations, and yes, please drop some questions that if you have anything for Lasma or the other presenters here. But first of all, I want to thank you very much, Lasma, for the good presentations and good point of views. Thank you, Lasma. And let's go further on our schedule. Now I would like to ask Runar Søresen from ITS Norway to tell us a little bit more about lessons learned from Horizon Europe projects preparations. And you have 3 topics that you're going to go through: is building the right network, key do's and don'ts, and spotlight selected from 26, 27 calls relevant of mobility, logistics, CC-CAM, digitalization, and resilience. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Alex. I will try to share my presentation.
Yes.
Can you now
see
see my presentation?
Yes, we do.
Perfect. And now you can see the second slide. Good. So
Yes.
this is an overview of my presentation. First, I would like to provide a short overview of Horizon Europe, even if several of the previous presenter had mentioned Horizon Europe, but I will probably get another view on that. And then I will talk about how ITS Norway has been involved in Horizon Europe, some tips and tricks regarding how to get started, and as you said, Alex, do's and don'ts we have collected throughout the years. And I will also go in a bit detail regarding selected topics or calls from coming in 2026. Also mention 2027, but focusing on 2026 and the October deadline next year. So this is an overview of Horizon Europe, which we have the three pillars. I think at least pillar 1 and pillar 2 has already been mentioned, and in addition you have the cross-cutting issues, widening participation and strengthening the European research area. I will focus on pillar 2, global challenges and European industrial competitiveness. And this pillar is divided in several different clusters, and more than one is relevant for the domain of ITS, but I will focus on climate, energy, and mobility. So this is cluster 5, more breaking down into the details. Each cluster has several destinations. Within cluster 5, you have destination 5, clean and competitive solutions for all transport modes. This includes zero-emission road transport as an example. And you also have destination 6, safe, resilient transport and smart mobility services for passengers and goods. Within this destination, you have CCAM, cooperative, connected and automated mobility. You have multimodal transport, infrastructure and logistics, and you have important topics on safety and resilience. So these are more or less impacts to be generated by the projects. And I should probably also mention that in pillar 2, this is more top-down kind of project where there is a challenge that need to be solved on the European level. So just a short overview of ITS Norway's involvement in Horizon Europe, or starting in fact with Horizon 2020, the 3 first project here. Award and entrance, which both started in January 2021, and also our first project that we coordinated named Orchestra, which was related to multimodal traffic management, and now the large MODI project exploring automated transport for logistics. So both Orchestra and MODI is or was coordinated by ITS Norway. And in addition, we have Dynaport on the maritime side and 2 very CCAM related projects, CCAM ERAS and CCAM Ambassador. And within this project, we have some specific roles we want to take. We can be, as mentioned, a coordinator or lead of one or several work packages. want to be involved in the planning coordination of use cases or similar piloting activities, typically taking place in so-called living labs. We think we're good in stakeholder engagement, bringing the right stakeholders to the table to discuss issues. We have expertise on innovation management and exploitation planning. We can contribute with planning and executing co-creation activities, becoming more and more important in European projects. We have expertise on evaluation, and we can for sure contribute to communication and dissemination of the results from the project. So, if you want to get started with Horizon Europe, you think that you need to start to identify the challenges, if there are societal or the challenge of European competitiveness, and then state your ambitions regarding how to solve the challenge or challenges. And then the next step is to identify a relevant Horizon Europe topic. As I said, I'm now focusing on Pillar 2. And these are collaborative projects, so you need to find the right partners, build your network. And this is both identifying your value chain and also find the best research partners. And for sure, read and reread the topic text to understand what is expected from the project. And finally, work hard towards the submission deadline. It's a lot of hard work to submit a competitive proposal. Yeah, probably some do's and don'ts. So do's, start early. I think I would recommend start 9 to 10 months before the submission deadline. You need to spend time to identify a coordinator with the right experience and mindset. This includes both assessing the organizational and financial capability or competence. And the coordinator do not need, in all cases, to be the scientific and technical lead. You need to build network. As I said, these are real collaborative projects. So use network and networks. I think this meeting or webinar is a good example of this, but you also have other such network of networks, ALICE, the CCAM Association, and so on. And also we have had quite good experience participating at brokerage events arranged by different organizations. And research previous projects within the domain, where you can use the CORDIS service from the European Commission to see what has been done before and also to identify relevant partners. You need to really understand the current state of the art to describe your progress. And you need early involvement of expertise on social sciences and humanities. You should not bring in partners due to friendship. They need to be the best there is to contribute to solving the challenge. And you should not be tolerant of partners that do not deliver during the proposal phase, but because that will typically also continue if you are lucky enough to get the project. And you should not start collaboration towards a proposal without a firm commitment from the different partners, a signed letter of intent or similar, to ensure that they are not working onto two competing proposals in parallel. So, just more down to the specific topics. So I have selected some relevant calls under destination 6. For the deadline in October next year, you have 7 topics in total, and for the year after, you have 4 topics in total. So I will focus for the rest of my presentation on the October 8th deadline. So this is just, I will go through each of the relevant topics one by one. I just tried to extract some keywords from each of the topics. So the first one is flagship pilot, large-scale demonstrations of CCAM. So this is a really large innovation action where they want one project, and the European Commission is willing to contribute 100 million euro to really demonstrate inclusive, user-oriented and well-integrated CCAM systems and services. This includes both transport of people and goods, and the duration of the piloting activities should be more than 12 months. This also requires wide stakeholder engagement. Then you have the next one, geopolitical competition and socioeconomic resilience in CCAM, an innovation and policy roadmap for EU leadership. This is a research and innovation action, one project with a easy contribution of 4 million euro. And here the goal is to identify strategic vulnerabilities, dependencies, and opportunities. And also describe robust governance models, policies, and business strategies that strengthens Europe's leadership, economic resilience, and market positioning in CCAM technologies. And the next one is generative AI for smarter CCAM, enhancing participation, decision-making, and validation of CCAM systems. These are research and innovation actions, and there is room for 2 funded projects. And this involves integration of energy-efficient perception systems for improving CCAM, exploiting advancements of generative AI to enhance situational awareness, and thereby support safe decision-making. And this also includes specific focus on vulnerable road users. And then we have moving on to multimodal transport infrastructure with increasing competitiveness and resilience of multimodal freight transport and logistics for competitive supply chains. This is an innovation action, so more close to market than the research and innovation actions as previously described. Here it is room for 3 projects. And here the development of tools and solutions that enhance competitiveness for European multimodal freight transport networks, ensuring sustainability, resilience, security, and increasing transport capacity. And these projects should also establish 2 large pilots demonstrating these solutions. And also important to note that this is it's a multimodal and synchromodal project involving several transport modes. Then safety and resilience. I have one topic on road safety and resilience for rural areas. Innovation actions. Implementation of what they call the NWRSA methodology for secondary rural roads, accurate assessment of road infrastructure safety, safety, and also look into various enforcement and prevention strategies. And road safety also, these projects should also look into impact of extreme weather on road safety and resilience. More on safety and resilience, and enhance resilience in multiple passenger transport through digital technologies and generative and discriminative AI. A mouthful for real. Innovation actions, 2 projects and 5 million euro per project in funding from the European Commission. This is about real-time data analytics to respond to disruptions, and also predictive maintenance using generative AI. And the solution here should support passenger transport operators and authorities to ensure minimal disruptions in unexpected and critical situations. And as most of the other European projects, it requires real-life piloting activities. So that was the selected topics from Horizon Europe with a deadline next year. Just my final slide, I want to say a few words about how ITS Norway works to mobilize towards European projects. We have a specific project, ITS Horizon, partly funded by the Research Council, where we have different activities to get the process started. We have seminars, workshops, and also do one-to-one mentoring of Norwegian actors that are motivated to take part in such projects. And also we help them with matchmaking, finding international collaboration partners. So thank you so much. That was all from my side.
Thank you very much, Runar, and I really like your presentation a lot. And we have a quite interesting question here in from Marco Forsblom here in chat about the AI and usage of AI. Can you see it? Have you any thoughts for that?
I have never used AI tools to write application, but I have for sure used AI tools to do my research to find what is the state of the art and so on. And maybe some spell checking, but this is a very highly competitive environment, so I don't think you can write a competitive proposal relying too much on AI tools, because that is only based on existing knowledge and papers. You need to find your own twist and be quite innovative in the proposal and ambitious.
Yes, thank you, Runa, for your thoughts. And now I will give Jenny a stage.
Thank you so much. That was very nice of you. Thank you, Runa, for a very good presentation. I have just one question, and yes, let me give you an advice about the AI writing. It is, as Runa said, very wise to use your own words, and you can probably check your grammar and check your writing, maybe rewrite some sentences by using AI. But and Runar has quite a high track record of sending in applications, so he has a lot of experience on that. Can you just say a couple of words? What is a brokerage event for those who doesn't really know what that means?
Okay, a brokerage event is a very intensive exercise, typically taking place in Brussels, but I also taken part in such brokerage events in Barcelona and so on, where you sign up to have short one-to-one meeting with potential partners. 10 to 15 minutes meeting to have the first contact. Typically, the first such meeting will not be very fruitful, but if you meet the same people the second time and the third time, you really get to understand their motivation and their expertise. And for sure, it's a good starting point to have follow-up meetings and going more in depth to analyze what are your common interests.
Thank you for that answer. Could we arrange a brokerage event from a Nordic Plus perspective at the Nordic Plus Pavilion in Intertraffic, Runar? Would that be a place where if we would have a side event that we would call a brokerage event, could that be of a possibility?
Yeah, I think that is a good idea. You probably need a separate room for that, but it would be a really interesting activity, yes.
And then my question is a follow-up, and you walked right into it. Would you mind hosting that brokerage event as a side event in Intertraffic if we plan to set up one?
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Okay, very good. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We will have a brokerage event at the Intertraffic Pavilion in Intertraffic in March, which will give us some time to actually focus on the October and the 27 calls. Because it is, as Runar said, it takes time to build a network and a good consortium. And what you all kind of didn't mention, it's also about financing and EU checks the financing of the companies joining. So be sure to when you find partners that are good, evaluate also the finances of those partners joining that consortium, because we all have experienced that at the end they are kicked out due to not fulfilling the rules from EU, meaning it puts you as a consortium leader or a coordinator in quite a difficult position to find new or exchange partners. So that is also advice. What we want to do with these kind of webinars is actually put the expertise together from Lasma, from Lily, from Runar, and also from the other countries that couldn't join us today, in order to find the best consortium. And as I initially said, we have a lot to offer from a Nordic Plus perspective into EU consortiums. And I think that with the brokerage event in March, at the Intertraffic, but also for you to actively reach out to the ones that participated today or to me and Alex directly and say, I have an ID or I would like to join. Can you please help us? And we will really do everything we can in our demand that we can to help you. The only rule is that you are a partner or a member of the ITS associations in the Nordic Plus, because that makes you automatically a Nordic Plus member. So that is the only kind of rule from our side for helping you to solve this kind of a question. Alex, I don't know if there are any other questions or remarks.
I will remember everybody that where you find these videos and all the presentations is the Nordic Plus event place for this event that we made up. And also we will notice people in LinkedIn to go and see the presentations and so on. So the Nordic Plus, I will put the link in the chat also that you can have it. And we will update the event page as soon as we get all the informations from our presenters to me. Is there anything our presenters, Jari or Lasma or Lili or Runar, you want to add to this?
No, just thank you for having me here, because it was really interesting to hear all the countries' perspective. And as an NCP from Latvia for Horizon Europe, I encourage everyone, if you have some questions about new work program or new calls, or maybe some potential participants from Latvia, you can write me, because we are encouraging our participants to write a one-pager of about them. So about the calls they are interested in, and so I can send those one-pagers if someone is interested in the related calls.
Awesome. Thank you, Lasma. Very nice.
I would like to add from my side that also, as Lasma said, you can go to ITS Estonia webpage, and we have their showcases, so you can see what our companies has been done before, and so you get the information there on a one pager also.
Super, super. Okay, I think that this one goes also to Jari and Jenny's organizations, and I want to then thank you everybody to take part of this event, and I hope we see you all in Intertraffic 26. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting
Thank
this
you.
event.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.